Let's take a look at page 144 in the textbooks at Medieval Garden. This piece is basically broken down in two sections, and it is in the key of A minor. No sharps or flats in the key signature, but it's minor. And let's go ahead and get started with the first section. The first phrase goes all the way here. Okay, so it happens to be a longer phrase, 8 measures instead of the typical 4-bar phrase. Let's start off with the left hand here. Notice that we have parallel fifths, and it also shifts down parallel fifth to here, and also down a parallel fifth to here. So for all of these, we're just going to use 1/5 all the way through. Okay, same fingering. Starts on AE. Okay, and this is going to be A3 and E4 with your fifth. And you're just going to move down a whole step to G, down a whole step to F, and down a half step to E. Okay, let's do that again. AE, shift down, and shift down. And that's all it is. If you wanted to, you could even maybe give yourself a cue. Say this is A, because it's A minor. Then it goes down to G, then down to F, and down to E. If you want to write that, you can give yourself that. A, G, F, E. Really easy. And then we get to this last section here. And we're going to shift back up to A position. So this is an A. But we'll use fifth finger on this A. 5, then 3, 4, 3, 2, like that. Let's try that part. 5, 3, 4, 3, 2, like that for the transition. And by going to fifth finger on A, this is going to allow us to be in position again for the next section, which is the same thing. A, down to G, down to F, and down to E, like this. And then at this point, it does the same thing almost. Okay, so here, if you want to shift back up just because we did it the first time, you could do this 5, 3, 4, 5. Starting on A, it's 5, 3, 4, 5, like that. That's the left hand for the whole first page. So let's go ahead and try that, starting from the top of the left hand. Here we go. So you're going to start with A and E fifth. Here we go, in time. 1, ready, and play. 1, 2, 3, 1, shift, down. G, 2, 3, 1, shift, down. F, 2, shift, down. E, now shift back up to A. 5, 3, 4, 3, 2, again. A, E, 2, 3, 1, shift, down to G, 2, 3, 1, shift down to F. 1, shift to E. Now shift back up to A. 5, 3, 4, 5. So that's how that goes. Pretty easy. You can repeat that if you need. All right. So now let's learn the right hand for this same section. Again, it starts on the note A. In this case, we're going to start with our first finger on A. So the fingering numbers are going to be 1, 2, 1, 5, 5, then it ties, so you don't play this E here. 4, 3, 2, 1, then cross over to 2. That's really important to cross over to 2 there. Then 3, 4, 5, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're going to have to stretch to the 1, which happens to be E. So let's go ahead and try this together. We're going to start with a thumb on A4 position. 1, slowly, and 1, 2, 1, 5, 2, 5, tie. 4, 3, 2, 1, crossover to 2 on G, 2. Stay in this position. 3, 4, 5, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, stretch your thumb down to E, 2, 3, rest. Let's do that again. So back to A4 position. Ready and play. 1, 2, 1, 5, 2, 5, tie. 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, stretch, 1. So the most important thing is when you shift down to the G with second finger, you're now going to be in F position. So we start in A position, then we cross over to F position. Let's take a look at the next two systems starting on measure 9. This starts off the same way. We're back on A position, and it's exactly the same. 1, 2, 1, 5, tie. 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. So this is different here. 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. So this time it doesn't fall. 3, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1. And then we cross over to the G on second finger. And then just go back to either your thumb or third finger on the A. Still pretty simple. Let's go ahead and try this with the right hand starting on bar 9. 1, ready and play. 1, 2, 1, 5, 5, tie. 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, cross over, 1, 2, 3. Okay? So now that we have that, let's try the entire right hand for the first page. 1, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 5, 2, 5, tie. 4, 3, cross over, 2, now stay in position. 3, 4, 5, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, stretch your thumb to E. 1, 2, 3, rest, shift back up to A. 1, 2, 1, 5, 5, tie. 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, cross over, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so make sure you have that down first. And when you do, we can actually put these hands together. It's pretty darn easy. I'll draw some lines telling us, reminding myself when the left hand is going to change and play the notes. All right, so let's try this slowly, hands together. Remember, the left hand is just walking down. A, G, F, E, then it goes back to A. Like that, okay? Let's try this slowly. 1, and 2, and 3, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 1, and 2, and 3. Left hand shifts down. 1, and 2, and cross over to G, and 2, and left hand shifts down, 3 to F, 1 and 2, shift down to E, 1 and 2, and shift back up to A, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay? So hopefully you got that the first time. If you didn't, pause the video, try that until you do have it down. You can rewind and try it again with me. When you do have that, let's try this next section. It's very, very similar. Again, the left hand is just walking down. A, G, F, E. Both hands are in A position. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. Shift down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and shift down. 1 and 2 and shift down, and 1 and 2 cross over, and 3. Now back to A in the left hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2. Okay, so that's the first page of Medieval Garden. Let's take a look at the second section here, starting on bar 17. If we look at the left hand, you'll notice that we have parallel fifths again. So we're going to use exactly the same fingering, which is just 1-5 all the way through. But this time we're starting on middle C. So on middle C here, notice how this is in treble clef now, right? So make sure that you're notating that it's in treble clef. Then we go up to D, back down to C, down to B flat, back up to C, and back to B flat. So we're going from C up to D, back to C, then down to B flat, and back up to C, and back down to B flat. So we're just doing just neighboring notes. Up a whole step, down a whole step, that sort of thing. That's pretty easy. And then we move back up to C again. And we're going to use the fingers 5, 3, 4, 3, 2. Okay? Let's try these two lines with the left hand. Starting on middle C. Here we go. C, then up to D, back down to C, down to B flat F, back up to C, back down to B flat F, back to C. 5, 3, 4, 3, 2. Like that. We continue. If we look here, it's similar, but it does change a bit. We start on C again. We go back up to D, back down to C, back down to B flat, then we have a bass clef which takes us down a whole step to A flat, E flat, and then down to D, down to G. All of these are still perfect fifths. And then we go back to A, and I'll write the fingering here. 5, 3, 4, 5. And then we have da capo al coda. So we go back to the beginning of the piece, and we'll jump to the coda. So this time, C, D, C, B flat, then down to A flat, E flat, then down a half step to G, and then A. Like that. Let's try the left hand here. Again, starting from middle C. Ready and play. C, up to D, back to C, down to B flat F, down to A flat E flat, down to G D, and back to A. 5, 3, 4, 5. so that's the left hand for this section. Now let's take a look at the right hand. Left hand's in C position, and so is the right hand. And why C? Well, C is the relative major to A minor, so that would be the reason why. So the fingers are going to be 1, 5, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. Notice how we are not shifting. We are not shifting here. We stay in C position the entire time. Let's try it. So the right hand is in treble C position. Ready and play. 1, 5, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. So it's pretty easy. If you have all your finger numbers down, you just kind of go with your finger numbers in C position. Measure 25. Moving on, measure 25. We are also in C position here. 1, 5, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Now on bar 29, that's an E flat. Okay, so it goes to C minor here, an E flat. So we want to make sure that we're really paying attention to that flat. 2, 1, then cross over to 2, 3, 2, 1, which puts us back into A position. Let's try the right hand here. Starting on C position. Here we go. 1, 5, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, E flat, 3, 2, 1, cross over to 2, 3, 2, 1. And feel free to do that a few times. Once you have both hands down, we can try to put it together. So let's take a look at measure 17. Again, I'm going to highlight this time. I'm going to highlight the moments when my left hand changes. That way I know to think about the left hand. Both hands start in C position. Left hand is in middle C position. And the right hand's in treble C position. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and shift up to G and 1 and 2 and shift down to C and 1 and 2 shift down to B flat, F and 1 and 2 and back to C and 1 and 2 back to B flat, F and 1 and 2 shift back to C position, 5 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay. Again, when you're learning music, the most important thing is to go slowly enough that you can play it without any rhythmic hesitations. You want to be very steady. If you're steady, your brain is going to absorb the information. So if you need to go slightly slower, feel free to slow down the video and try that again. Okay. All right, now let's take a look at measure 25. Again, the hands start in C position. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and shift up to D and 1 and 2 and 3 left hand back to C. 1 and 2. Back down to B flat and 1. Now the left hand shifts down to A flat, E flat. 3 and you have an E flat in the right hand. 1 and 2. Left hand shifts down to G. Right hand crosses over to second finger on B and 2. Shift back up to A in the left hand. 5, 3, 4, 5, like that. Okay? So feel free to work on that a few more times as well. At that point, it goes back to the beginning of the piece. If you look on the bottom of the first page, you will see a point that says second time to the coda sign. Coda sign is just an O with a cross, kind of like a crosshair, okay? Like a target symbol. So what that means is the second time, you're not going to play this last measure. The second time, you're going to jump, okay, across the page to here. Okay? It just so happens that the first note of this section is the same as the last note, so you'll still end up on the same fifth finger. All right. Now, let's take a look at this very last coda section here. Starting with the left hand, we have ourselves a treble clef. And it starts on the A flat, E flat that we already had, except now it's an octave higher. It is also a perfect fifth, so we'll also start with 5-1. Then it goes down to G, and back to A. And we end with 5-3-4-5 in the left hand. So this is pretty easy. Let's try this whole last line. We're going to start with our fifth finger on A3, on the very first note here. So we play the A. You're going to shift all the way up to A flat, E flat. Okay, up here, right below A4. Then you're going to shift down to GD and shift back up to A. 5, 3, 4, 5. So that's pretty straightforward. Now let's take a look at the right hand. The right hand is in A position, but this time it's also up an octave. Finger numbers are going to be 1, 2, 3. Then you're going to use 1, but it's going to be on an A flat, an A flat. So that's kind of surprising. We do have an A flat here. 3, 2, 1 crossover 2 on 2 to G, and then back to third finger on the A. And then we have an octave sign. You're going to jump up in the octave and play this also with third finger. So let's try the right hand here. You're going to start with your thumb on A5. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Your thumb on A flat. 1, 3. B natural. 2. Then cross over to second finger on G. Then third finger on A. Then shift up an octave with third finger. Like that. Once you're comfortable with both hands, we can try this hands together. So we start off with both hands on A position for the very first note of that system. Then you're going to shift your right hand up an octave and you're going to shift your left hand up to A flat and E flat, okay? So this position change. Let's try it very slowly. 2 and 3 and 1. Shift your right hand up an octave. Left hand shifts up to A flat, E flat. 3 and 1, A flat, 2 and left hand goes down to G. 1 and 2. Right hand crosses the second finger on G. Left hand goes back to A. 5, 3. Right hand shifts up an octave, and they play together. And that's all of the parts for Medieval Garden. So now I'm going to go ahead and play this through for you so you can hear how this sounds.